In 2023, we moved to a remote Scottish island to be its only two residents, along with our pet sheep and cats, beginning our YouTube journey there by sharing the challenges of such a solitary life in a harsh environment, while restoring an ancient stone cottage and raising livestock. The channel's success grew quickly, establishing an online community who share our love of history and kinship and yearn for a simpler time. Now we've begun a new life in the beating heart of the Highlands, and we invite you to join us as we put down roots in this land of legend, of rich tradition and culture, and incredible landscapes where the past is close at hand. Step back in time with us in this Scottish Isle.
Whose idea was it to come to Fort George today?
Mine. I mean, maybe the visibility will be a bit better on the coast.
I was going to say, we're going to see a lot of it, aren't we?
An ominous landscape. Which is, I'm sure, what the Highlanders thought of the fort when it was first built.
It's, what, 30 foot? Visibility.
Pretty bad.
It's a real pea super. Can you see it being open? I can't.
They're not going to be closed because of fog. They might be closed because of ice.
There's a taxi here. He's pulled up to have his lunch. This is a bit bleak, isn't it?
Can't see anything at all.
You can see a bit of scaffold.
This is not going to be open, is it?
What?
I'm going to have to phone them and check if they're open. I'm not trudging over there for now.
What, are you going to give him a ring? Well, I'm going to go and have a bit of an explore. Oh, Nikita, is it cold in your little corner of the world?
Take a look at the car park.
That's because we're the only pair of lunatics that had come out here. Was it -5 here?
Well, it's not open. As expected. So obviously we're going to be coming back. Can't blooming see anything anyway. Where's all the soldiers?
Hang on a minute, it says open all year, then it's got April to September and October to March. Oh, of course, that is all year, isn't it? It's just got different times. It's me being stupid.
Where's the soldiers with their grip? It's not icy.
Well, they said, didn't they, that on icy days it's closed because people, I guess, slip on the stonework. But we'll still go over there and have a look. Do you want to scan the code and just see if it gives you any information? Like, we're going to be open in an hour. Okay. I've seen a cannon. Look, there's a cannon over there, and also I've seen a Union flag.
Well, because we're coming back, there's not really much point in going through the history of the place at the minute with you, so we'll wait.
Well, we're here, so it is quite a dramatic landscape.
Well,
let's just go as far as we can until the soldiers say who goes there or whatever it is that they say these days. 3 words!
Just doing the Monty Python thing again.
I like it. You're not coming?
I'll catch up.
Well, it took less than an hour to get here. But, you know, now I'm here. I've kind of seen a bit of the lay of the land. I'm quite excited about going in here and having a look around. That is a very shut door.
It's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, I was just saying, I'm quite excited about coming here now.
Dry moat. This entrance is known as a Ravelin entrance. Its design. 20 years it took to build. Over time and over budget, apparently. It was supposed to cost, and this is in the 1750s, started in just after the Jacobite uprising. It was supposed to cost 92,000 back then. Came in at 200,000.
That's a lot of money, isn't it?
I don't even know the maths on that. How many cows is it? Do you know what I found out about this place that I didn't know? It was the home of the Seaforth Highlanders. It's now the home of the Black Watch. But it was the home of the Seaforths, and my grandfather was in the Seaforth Highlanders.
Would you be stationed here?
I think he would have spent time here. He was an officer, so he went to, what's it? Sandringham. No, is that what it's called?
Sandhurst.
I've got a photograph of him and his peers. But if this is the home of the Seaforths, it was when he was enlisted, then I think he would have spent time here, and I bet you my family don't know that.
Well, unfortunately, there is not a lot we can see today. So it is very much the anticlimax.
Well, it's a good advert for when we do come here. Well, look, the weather's due to thaw in a couple of days, so we'll come back. We'll come back maybe next week. Look at it. It's mad. It's a star fort, and it's never been attacked. Unlike the last Fort George.
Well, hey, two things really. It is pretty much out of the way. I know that was the whole point because, you know, it was to quell any Highland rebellions. But as a Highlander with a limited amount of like weaponry that you have, and you're not going to have cannon, are you? How do you attack this place? Did it get attacked?
Never got attacked.
Look at it. You're not getting in.
Fort George used to be in Inverness at the site of Inverness Castle. That's what used to be on that site. They made a fort out of medieval fortresses, castles. You know, King Malcolm, I think, built. King Malcolm III of Scotland. And they made it into military fortresses. And the Jacobites took that one. 3,000 of them stormed it, and they got it. they sacked it. And when they got it, they blew it up so that the British could never take hold of it again.
That is the only way that you would be able to storm this place, with a mass army just pouring over it. And you'd have mass casualties, but yeah.
Imagine the orcs putting their ladders up against it.
I can't imagine. This is why it never got attacked. Look at it. It's formidable.
The fort at Ardersier was built by the British government as a direct response to the ultimate defeat of the Jacobites at Culloden. The Crown was resolute in deterring any future rebellion from the Scots, who, it perceived, had fought for their Stuart prince with such fiery loyalty and fellowship that it determined they must stamp out the remaining embers of that Scottish resolve to rally to kin. The location of Fort George was strategic in ensuring the presence of a vast army of redcoats was felt throughout the Highlands, though the echoes of the Disarmament and Proscription Acts of 1746 were heard across the whole of Scotland. Immediately after Culloden, the British Army swept through the Highlands, often executing without trial any person suspected of being a Jacobite sympathiser, whether or not they'd actively engaged in rebellion. So severe was their punishment that entire villages were burned, precious store cupboard goods looted and spoiled, and livestock needlessly slaughtered. Homes that had belonged to families for generations ceased to exist, alongside any promise of inheritance. Survivors are known to have fled into the high hills, hiding in caves and living off the land. As well as being disarmed, the Scots were disrobed, as the Crown banned the wearing of traditional dress. For nearly 40 years, the traditions of the Highland way of life were expunged, hidden from sight, and men were exiled to far corners of the British Empire as indentured servants or soldiers made to swear an oath of loyalty to the Crown. The Crown took the pipes away from the piper, they took the tartan away from the clans, and the sword away from the rebel. But they couldn't take the Highlands out of their hearts. What we inherit from our ancestors is not just physical tradition or dress. Our culture, who we are, is in our blood. The descendants of those defeated Jacobites, scattered now far abroad from their clan lands, will recognise in themselves the characteristics passed down to them by these men of old. Their tenacity, resilience, independence, stubbornness and loyalty. In a wonderful twist of fate, demonstrable of the Scots' inherited spirit of defiance, Fort George is soon to be stood down as an active garrison and likely given into public ownership. And the most popular proposal for its future use is as a tartan weaving mill.
I don't know if the microphones are picking up, but the army are out on the rifle ranges shooting. And it's a sound that I remember from my days as being an army kid, because we was always near camps or on camps, and you could hear them when they was doing the target practice. Well, that's what I think it is, because that's what it sounds like.
It sounds like it, yeah.
Yeah, it's gunfire. This is, I cannot believe, you know, the dimensions and the size of this place. What an incredible place.
So this is what I was speaking of, but the entrance. This is the first entrance known as a Ravelin entrance, but that's the real entrance over there into the fort.
There's steps down here, but let's not. It's no point taking a risk. We're coming back, aren't we? So. So I'm going to assume this is the working army barracks.
Yes. Not open to the public.
It's I'm well impressed with this. It's the first fort of this kind that I've been to. I know there's they're dotted around the UK, but I've never been to one. Kind of itching to get in now. See, we've been filmed up there, look. I just said to Katie, should I get the drone out? And what did you say?
I think they'll shoot it down.
That would be drama for the channel.
Look at this. It's a bit of a hard, isn't it?
Look, I don't know where I am, location-wise. What expanse of water is this?
It's the Moray Firth. It's the mouth of the Moray Firth. That's why they built it here. So if they were ever besieged, they could still get supplies in by sea.
I quite like it here. I don't know if I was billeted here as a soldier, I'd have the same feeling. But don't you come down these steps. In fact, nah. Just not worth it. It's literally ice. I mean, I know there's only like 4 steps, but they are sheet ice on all of them. Well, this is cool. I wish we could get in.
Next week. Sometime.
Well, Nikita. Is it cold? No, we'll do it again. That was a good idea. I'd like to come when there's less tourists next time.
There's only a family of 3.
It was 4.
Well, next visit, hopefully the doors will be open.
Well, there will be, because we're going to ring in advance. Do you know why we're here?
Yeah.
We might as well go to Old Dern and pick up that other chest of drawers. He was paying in cash, though.
I think I might have cash.
Why would you?
Yeah. I'm a woman of many secrets.
Where have you got money from? Well, that was Fort George for the moment. We're sorry that we couldn't get you to. I mean, what is it actually inside?
Lots of lovely Georgian buildings and artefacts, Highland artefacts, military things, artefacts, more artefacts.
Oh, I hope the tourists are back. Let's go.